Thank you very much for coming and passing by. This is very important to this sport fraternity. I will still stand by my opinion I share in the forum that GFF created, and which all the presidents were sharing their views. Because when the state of emergency was declared, because due to this COVID-19, and we all know how it is important to all of us for our social lives to take preventive measures to save our lives and our family, close associates. That GFF League could not continue simply because of certain things. There were no social gatherings. So when GFF created this forum, I shared in the forum that since the state of emergency is declared, the league could not continue. The first round was completed, and we went into the second round, just one game played. Okay, some thought, okay, the league leaders should have been crowned, but my opinion was, I think the league at the moment should be nullified until when the state of emergency was clear for us to start the league. If the league could not continue, then I'll go with the opinion to nullify the league, simply because only one game was played in second round, and that cannot determine a winner. And if wherever you have a winner, you have a loser. So it being the case, whoever was on top cannot be crowned as the champions because of only one game played in the second round. This was my opinion, and I still stand by that.
Now that the GFF they do not declare a winner, but they came with a mechanism which they said that it was in consultation with club president, and it was taken in consultation with the club president, and they created a WhatsApp group in which you were a bona fide member because you are the president of Gamtel Gamcel Football Club. There will be no winner, no relegation, but what is your reaction towards the circular that said the first and second team on in the GFF Division 1 would represent the Gambia in the CAF Inter-club competition?
Yeah, I don't have any objection with it because I was even trying to defend that to when some other journalists came into my office to ask. That was the decision carried by the majority, because I understand the league leaders were Real, followed by GAF, and then Gamtel Gamcel. So when the majority went with the notion that Real is on top, they should represent GFF in the CAF Champions League, then GAF in the CAF Confederation Cup. I quite agree with that. There is no problem. But I said to them, before they would declare whoever should represent us, they should engage that team to see whether they can sustain it, because financially it is not easy, because we went through it several times. We know how much it goes to spend much money in traveling and hosting teams in such competitions. If teams of those caliber accepts that they will sustain it financially, then they can go ahead and represent. But even though some agreed, some did not, but they identified Real and GAF. Real came in to say they cannot represent because of A, B, and Z, best known to them. So now I have seen in the forum that they have identified GAF, who are second currently on the table, to be in the Champions League, and then Gamtel Gamcel in the CAF Confederation Cup. Well, because I have seen the Brikama United president was in the notion that they should have considered also that the winner of last year to be given the opportunity. But that was not mentioned, as the majority said when we were sharing our view in the forum. This is the notion, and we all accepted he should have come on board before the decision was made to be taken.
Yeah, my partner wanted to ask a question, but let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Now that your team has been considered, and you said that it's normally difficult to sustain a club into the CAF club competitions financially. There are some financial concerns due to lack of resources we have in the Gambia. But now that your club is tutored to represent the Gambia, is Gamtel Gamcel in a position to accept the offer from GFF, because we have seen, like you said, Rele Banyan have already, declined, and Brikama United president Victor Sambu, was on record saying that even if they were to be selected, they are not financially stable to sustain that. Will Gamtel represent the Gambia?
Gamtel Gamcel Football Club and the team is sponsored by the main body of Gamtel Gamcel companies. We cannot take that decision immediately. We have acknowledged our identification to represent, but we have to send that request to our management for their approval, because we are not the approving authority, because we request financial support from Gamtel and Gamcel. If GFF could write to us officially, as I request in the forum, that CAF and Gamtel Gamcel Football Club will be representing the Gambia Football Federation in Club Championship and CAF Club Confederation Cup, then we will take that letter as a management body of Gamtel football team to send it to our management to request for their approval. If that approval is given, then we will officially communicate to the GFF to tell them that based on your identification for us to represent the Federation on CAF Club Championship, our management has endorsed and approved for us to proceed and then represent. If that is not done, we cannot give any approval at the moment, because this team is financially sponsored by Gamtel and Gamcel. So we are waiting for that letter. If we have it officially, then we will send it for approval.
Now that you have been hinted regarding your chances of representing the Gambia in the CAF Confederation Cup, how did you receive the information?
In the forum,
yes,
it was not. We were not officially written, but it was sent in the forum, which GFF created, a forum where all presidents and GFF executive members are linked to that forum, shares those views. That is where we have the information. And so many people were sharing ideas. You see, that it's a good idea, but I think the way forward is for them to officially write to both CAF and Gamtel Gamcel Football Club, since we are institutional teams, to officiate it to their management team for approval.
Well, how did you organize meetings in WhatsApp group? When we have meetings like Zoom and Google Meet, how did you guys organize meetings in WhatsApp group?
No, we never had any meeting in WhatsApp. WhatsApp group, this is a forum where we were all linked into. Whatever idea is shared into that link, you will get that information. So you also can share your view. You see, whoever is connected to that link will be able to see all the contributions whoever puts across in that forum.
Now, as the president of a club, do you think that is effective?
Yeah, it is, because if you are in that link, you will see. If I share my opinion, if you are in that link, you will see it. Whoever is connected, then wherever topic is being discussed, you should be able to contribute, unless you ignore it. But as long as you are online, you'll be able to see whatever contribution comes on. Because GFF created this because they had a timeline, you see, with CAF, from all member associations to decide a way forward, whether to nullify or to continue, so that they could also decide whichever club should be representing that federation before the deadline day of CAF.
Now I will take you a bit back. You said the president of the Gambian Sports Committee sent a message suggesting that last year's champions, that is Brikama United, should be considered representing Gambia in the CAF Club Champions League. Don't you think it is a better suggestion?
Yeah.
Because hence the is null and void, meaning it has no bearing. Yeah,
we all agreed what Victor suggested. But the notion here is he should have brought that idea up before the decision is being made to identify Real as the current league leaders and GAF second on the table. If he had suggested that idea, maybe the majority could say, yes, let's give consideration to Brikama because they were the defending champions. But that came very late. That is why it was not actually considered.
So meaning during the discussion in the WhatsApp group, he didn't suggest that?
He did not, until late.
Now, let's talk about this. You discussed the issue in the WhatsApp group that Real and GAF will be given the privilege because they are on top. But after that communique from the federation, we have seen another communique from Real de Banjul indicating that they turned down JFF request and to them they felt that they should be crowned as champions of the league. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I quite disagree with Real on that because I will still stand by what I proposed on that forum, that you cannot crown them as champions because only one game was played in second round. That cannot determine a winner. And the points difference between GAF and Real is 6 points. GAF and Gamtel is 1 point, following down. And I also said, wherever you crown a champion, there must be a loser. Then if you crown, you will relegate. And it cannot stop on Division 1. It will have to reflect back to Division 2, Division 3 female football and so on. Because it will not be fair, you only give considerations of Division 1. Then Division 2 also will say, look, we are the champions. Current leaders, we should also be crowned to come to Division 1. So somebody who was also fighting hard on Division 3 to qualify to come to Division 2 will also say, look, I'm the leader in Division 2, Division 3, I should be given the opportunity to come. So this is why it's best for you to null and void the league. Then we start fresh because still state of emergency is on, is not declared over. Since this is the situation, you should just allow it as it is and then we will start fresh next season because we all know in the next 2-3 months, Nawetan qualifying rounds will start and we all know how the great impact Nawetan does in our communities because Nawetan is they also do very well in our grassroots football because they develop so many young talents from Nawetans, then they come to join our National League football. So this is the reason, that's why I still stand with the opinion that what I propose, they should still null and void it and then we start next season.
Well, Mr. President, don't you think that the JFF could have also suspended the league for some time and then probably if the COVID-19 issue has gone, they will start just like the way Senegal, Ghana, and Nigeria is doing. For the meantime, they suspended the league, and they hope and pray that Corona will one time fade away, and they will start playing again.
Yeah, we don't know in those countries whether they play Nawetan or not. But in our case here, yes. But in our case here, and you should also communicate. You have a timeline with CAF to decide whether to nullify, or to continue. And we are still in state of emergency. We don't know the current situation. This is why GFF came up with this opinion, to create this forum, WhatsApp group, with all the president and share ideas. And this is not the decision of the federation only, it's the decision of all the presidents who share their view in making sure we speak with one language and agree on a decision. This is why we all agreed to null and void it and then wait until next season so that Nawetan could also be played on time because we have a specific time for Nawetan and a specific time when the league should start. This is why they may think there could not even be Super Nawetan this year if the Nawetan start late. But let's hope Nawetan will start early because some of the zones, they have so many teams that play for qualifying round before the proper Nawetan starts. So this is the situation.
Well, you are not only the president of Gamtel Gamcel, you are also a senior staff at Gamtel.
Yes.
Do you think that your institution is financially stable to help finance the team to take part in the CAF competition, knowing that we are on Corona, the outbreak. Since the outbreak, a lot of government institutions and their corporate bodies have invested a lot of money in this, and in some cases they even lose some of their financial muscles. Is Gamtel in the position, or Gamtel is in a position to finance the team to take part in the CAF Inter-club competition?
That is a good question, but I'm a senior member of staff and I am not in that area. I'm not in the finance department. It's only the finance director who can answer that question. That is why we are waiting for GFF to write to us so that we can seek the opinion from the managing director and the finance director to say yes, we are in the position, or no, we are not in the position.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back a bit. What you're saying, is it that the nullification of the league season is a unanimous decision taken by both the federation and the stakeholders?
Yes, it's unanimous.
Okay, one final thing. Don't you think the nullification of the league is a blessing in disguise to Gamtel, looking at the fact that you have seen yourself in a position that you weren't expecting?
I don't understand.
Don't you think the nullification of the league is a blessing in disguise to Gamtel?
No, I wouldn't say that, because we were fighting to win the league. From the first 6, 7 games, we were on top of the league. This is just like it happened, but the team we have, this team could have won the league if we play until the 11th hour, the last day of the league, because we won the league like 2 years ago, and represented the Gambia at 2017. We went to Algeria to represent the Gambia, and every year that we win, either the FA or the league, we will travel to represent the federation and the Gambia, and which I want to thank our management for continuously supporting the team, because without management support we could not have been where we are today, because this team came into existence since '97, and now with the accolades we have, Gamtel has won lots of trophies, both national and international, because if you could remember, I think in 2012 we represented the Gambia to win the CAF Confederation Cup final in Lome, and we came back with a silverware. So Gamtel now is among the big guns in this league, which every year we are determined to win the league.
Well, you represented the Gambia in the Wafu club competition, I could remember, and with Tafamane, and
yes,
like you said, in Lome, and we were finalists.
Yes.
Runners up in the final. Year before last, with Solkiate, the club went.
We won the league. Yes.
They won the league and they went and represented the Gambia.
Yes.
It was a 1-1 and a 1-0 loss in the Gambia here.
Yeah.
Do you think that with this crop of players you have, you can still, have a decent run in the club competition? Because a lot of Gambian clubs, are really struggling in the CAF club competition.
Yes, with my experience, we have a chance, but for our Gambian teams, it is always difficult for us, because we know, and if they always push us to the north, who are financially strong and better team, we could not make it. But initially, you see, we were always been scheduled within the West African region. That is why I always tell our federation to also engage CAF. At least first round, we should be scheduled within the West African region. But if first round we are scheduled in the North Africa, we all know, even at national level, the North African teams are better than our national teams, because financially they are there. They have more bigger players than we have, and because they are playing in the bigger leagues. This is our concern. But like this year, our national football team is doing better, because we also have players who are playing in better leagues. So this will always be our problem if we are always scheduled or not. But football, you never know. You just keep fighting hard, keep training hard, you keep believing in yourself, and keep getting good players who will also believe in themselves to train hard and work hard for their teams. Football, it can be win and lose. You never know, you see, because year before last, when we went to Algeria, this team, the Algerian team, was shocked to get a goalless draw in Algeria. We were just unfortunate to take early goal in the Gambia, we would have proceeded to the next level. So this has been our challenge always. And Gamtel, our football team, our challenge is to get into the group stage, because we have the experience and we have players who have played in such competitions. We have always been going through first round, second round. The only problem is to get into the group stage, which is our target, and which we are working hard to make sure the next time we get into the competition, our target will be the group stage.
Well, yours are chances of playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. For now, it is just a suggestion. It is not finalized.
No, it's not.
Now, let's say if the teams or other stakeholders come out and say, yes, now the league is null and void, meaning it is cancelled. Let's go back to last as champions and winners. How would you feel?
I will accept it. I will give whatever majority decides, we cannot go against it.
Now, let's
Because if I say no, the majority decides, then we will go with the majority decision. Yeah.
Now let's talk about your WhatsApp group. Since the GFF executive or any of the executive members forwarded the suggestion in the group, how is the reaction of other stakeholders? Are they in support of the suggestion?
Yes, I'll go with the suggestion, because with the support, that is what the majority feel. But how we all felt about it was Brikama's president Victor should have brought that idea on before a decision is being made. That was the problem. And now Victor also said, even whereas they have been identified, they could not represent due to financial constraints. So I don't think they'll go back to say, okay, Brikama has come with an idea to challenge the decision of the majority to say they were the defending champion, they should be given the opportunity. I think we have gone past that now.
Now, you were part of those stakeholders who suggested that Real Liban and GAF will be given the opportunity to participate in the CAF Confederation and Championship, right? Yeah. Now, you took part in that decision and you participated. Now that the Real Liban turned the request down, what would be your reaction to that?
I think Real knows their position financially. I am not in the position to say they should not turn it down. The idea here was, now they are the league leaders, they should be given the opportunity. That is given to them. If they turn it down to say, we cannot sustain it financially, then it will be accepted by all.
They not say that.
No, I mean here, you were in for Real Liban to go in. And the president made it categorically clear that finance is not a problem. They turned it down because they felt they should be crowned as champions. And now you voted in for them to go out and represent the Gambia in the CAF.
No, this was after when they were identified as the league leaders to represent the federation. They came to say they would have been they should have been considered giving the crown to be crowned. Which I for one said they cannot be crowned, because one match into the second round cannot determine a winner. And if you crown Real, then it means you identify a winner. If you identify a winner, then there is a loser. I think you are getting it. That loser will have to be relegated. And the winner of Division 2 will have to come to second division, who should also be crowned. So you understand the language I'm speaking. Now, so this is the problem.
Maybe we don't understand it. Now this is in two folds. Now initially GFF released a communique that they have tipped GAF and Real Libanul to represent the country.
After everybody's view.
Okay, that's my point. Now during that, were you in for Real Libanul to represent the Gambia in the CAF Champions League?
Yes, because they were the league leaders.
Now as an individual, you threw your weight behind them and they have turned that down. What are you disappointed with their reaction?
No, I am not disappointed.
But they accepted the privilege in the group, right?
Who knows it, feels it.
Okay.
You understand that language? Who knows it, feels it. I have represented the Gambia for CAF Champions League, CAF Confederation, and then WAF. I know the expenses involved in such competitions. The minimum budget for our first leg outing will be nothing less than 2 million. Minimum 2.5. You see, ML was in our team, he could testify. you will have to be responsible for all your airfare, you see, team allowances, travel fare, and everything. And your return leg, the return leg, you will be responsible for to accommodate the team 100%. And you will also have to accommodate your team in a hotel. And most of the time, the teams will request minimum 4-star hotel. So you will pay a lot of money, you see, to be able to be in this competition. So this is why I am not disappointed, because I know how it is like. Because Real, you see, is not like an institutional team. If it is like maybe CAF, Gamtel, GPA, you understand, maybe they can sustain it, because we have a budget that we operate on. As long as that budget is available to us and management is supporting, then we can sustain it. But if Real is saying they cannot sustain it because of the financial constraint, I'll agree with them.
Well, Mr. Touray, here the point is, the president of Real, Will Abraham, is on records. He said that even he alone,
from his pocket, he can sponsor
the team to partake in the CAF competition. But they turned it down, one, because they feel like they should have been grounded, and they are not. And also, they feel like the JFF competition department has not been treating them equally with the other teams. And they even started some names that who have been going against their officials, and they feel like, you know, they wouldn't want anybody to taint the name of their club and their club officials. The question is, are you disappointed even after suggesting that Red Banjul being in the first position to represent the Gambia, they turned it down not because of financial constraint, but because of allegation they allege?
No, I am not in the position to say whether I am disappointed or not, because I am not Willie Abraham. I think that question should be thrown to Willie, who says he can sponsor it from his pocket. I cannot determine that. It's Willie who can answer those questions. Okay. But as far as I know, we agreed as presidents and JFF executive to identify one good reason, Real, to represent. That is because they were on top of the league. That based on that, they were identified. Okay. But anything that comes after that, I think that is Real who should answer those questions.
Now, let's forget about Real for a bit here. Let us still clarify this. Now, you were in for that decision, suggestion from the federation,
yes,
to give the platform or the avenue to really Banjul represent the Gambia. You were in support of that, right?
Because they were on top of the league.
Fine. Now
and they are still on top of the league.
Very good.
That is the notion we all have.
Now, as you as an individual,
Gamtel president, that is where I am talking from.
Now that you were in for that and they turned that down,
yes,
are you disappointed as an individual for throwing your weight behind them?
No, this is what I'm saying. Who knows it, feels it. I cannot say I am disappointed or I'm not disappointed. This is why when they identify Gamtel, I did not say yes at the moment, but I acknowledge for accepting me to represent the GFF, because I cannot say yes even though I'm the president, but it's our management of Gamtel and Gamcel who could say yes, because they support the team financially. You understand? Until when we are written to and approval given by our management is when we will say yes, now we can represent. But until that is done, we cannot say yes or no. Maybe this is where Real was coming from. If it was made clear to them, you see, which, you see, they understand now, they are not going to be crowned, but they are given the opportunity to represent. They have taken their decision. So I am not in the position to say, yes, I am disappointed, or no, I am not disappointed.
So you are saying Real, what they felt.
That is how they feel about it. So I'll take whatever they come up with. Whether now they have rejected it, I'll accept it, they have rejected it.
Now the feeling that they thought that they should be crowned, are you sure?
No, but
that one is groundless, right?
Yes, I said that several times. They cannot be crowned because one match into second round, you know, you cannot determine the winner. You see, how many matches left? they could lose 3, 4, 5, 6 games. GPA could win all their games and win the league. Or Brikama United. So how can we give a team a winner?
So in a nutshell, that one is out of the topic.
Yeah.
They cannot be crowned as champions.
No, they cannot. They cannot.
Good. Maybe was
Final.
yes.
Final.
Yeah, I think that's the final question.
Well, everyone is expecting Gamtel to accept the offer because they have been going out financially. They are strong, but you said at your position you cannot take that decision for now. The letter has to go to the top management.
Management, yes, for approval. Yes.
Then all the best. Maybe Gamtel will go this year as well.
Inshallah, if GFF could write to us to officially identify us, you see, then we will send that request to our management for approval. And we hope and believe management, if they approve, we will represent the Gambia again.
All right, all the best.
Thank you very much, team, for coming to meet me.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.